Good evening and welcome to the campus of UW-Whitewater. I'm your host, Sam Athene, and alongside me is my co-host, Matt Bruzis. Joining us in a moment is our special guest, Kyle Olson, but first we ask you to please excuse our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule. Guys, let's get right into it. Two familiar Wisconsin quarterbacks are off to an extremely hot start to the season and are front-runners for the MVP. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is off to a phenomenal beginning this season and has led his team to 4-0. Former Wisconsin Badger and current Seattle Seahawk Russell Wilson is coming off a game-winning drive against the Vikings to help advance his team to 5-0. Guys, who do you think deserves to be MVP at this point?
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers because I think he's going back to those 2010 days where he took his team to the Super Bowl. He's going back and looking at the fundamentals, looking at his footwork, looking at how he can improve on the throws across the field. He is better fundamentally, and I think that he's taking wide receivers that are 4th, 5th, and 6th round draft picks and making them into star wide receivers. That's in a comparison to Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers is doing it, and he's doing it at a high level this season.
Real quick, I want to mention Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. He has looked so impressive, already over 1,300 yards, 12 passing touchdowns, not to mention his 3 rushing and only 1 pick with the Buffalo Bills undefeated. They're looking to win the AFC East. But I do want to piggyback off of Aaron Rodgers. The way that he's been playing this season and with the limited amount of weapons around him, Devontae Adams being out for so long, and Allen Lazard going down too. These guys are stepping up, but Aaron Rodgers is going back to what makes him great and making these guys around him step up and making them look like better football players. He's just playing out of his mind right now.
Guys, I'm going to have to disagree, and this is why. I think Russell Wilson, since he's never received a vote for the MVP, is even more due for this. He leads Rodgers in every single statistical category except for sacks and interceptions thrown. Given that 2 of those interceptions were off the wide receiver's hands, and that those sacks come from really unskilled linemen who aren't very versed in what they do. I think that's the reason why I think Russell Wilson deserves to have this MVP. Plus, he's never missed a game in his career.
Yeah, but if you go to the completion percentage, Rodgers is a 70% completion percentage, and Wilson is a 62% completion percentage. Rodgers has thrown 0 picks. Russell Wilson has thrown 3. I still think that Rodgers is poised for MVP over Wilson. I think it'll be a heated debate, but I think Rodgers will take it because of the team success. I don't think the Seahawks can hold up as well as the Packers can for this long of a season with the defense that the Seahawks have.
Well, and you look at overall team strength, the Packers obviously look to be the better overall team when you look at the defense, the offensive line. But when you just look at what Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson have to throw around them, obviously they both have really good running backs. But when you look at the receiving core, DK Metcalf is one of the top receivers this season, where Aaron Rodgers has been without one of the top receivers in Devontae Adams for the past few games, but he's still been able to get it done. That's why I think he kind of edges him out.
But guys, I definitely think you're both wrong in this aspect, because if you look at who is the most valuable player on their team, you guys all talked about great players and teammates that Rodgers had, but Russell Wilson, he's doing it all without like great running backs. He's doing it without a great offensive line, and he's just been much more valuable to his team, and I think that's what the MVP is, most valuable player.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers had to bail his team out time and time again. We saw in the Saints game that he was down and that he had to come back, and the offense relies heavily on Aaron Rodgers to facilitate, and the Packers really rely on Aaron Rodgers to win football games.
Next up, we will discuss the 4 remaining teams in the MLB postseason. We'll be right back. Please excuse this commercial break.
Warhawks know what it takes to become champions. At the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, our student athletes pursue excellence with a determination that inspires everyone on campus. Warhawks are smart. Warhawks are strong. Warhawks value service. We prepare our student athletes for life after college. The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Come be part of the Warhawk family.
UWW-TV has been an important part of the campus and community since 1980.
Not only providing on-air learning opportunities for broadcast journalists and electronic media production students,
but educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating the mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website, our 24/7 stream, and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you gotta see what's on UWW-TV.
everyone, and welcome to this quarantine edition of Inside Warhawk Football. I'm your host, Sammy Huggins, and alongside me is head football coach Kevin Bowles. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, Sam.
With the coronavirus at an all-time high right now in Wisconsin, how have the guys been doing since we last talked?
You know, I'm very pleased. You know, to me, it's as much as anything managing the day-to-day. And that's the thing that we talk about to our players is, again, we talked about this last week, control what we can control. And the key thing is adapting. It really is adapting how we function, not just on a football field or in a weight room or even in a classroom. It's adapting into what we do in society and how we adapt our lives socially, ultimately. And that's something that's a constant state of conversation is our adaptations that we need to make at this time and making everything productive but being safe, and that to me is the biggest piece. And you know, as I've said to the guys many times, wearing masks is not an infringement of our freedoms by no means. It's an adaptation we make because we care. We care about the people around us, and continuing to care is the most important piece.
You established Warhawk Quarantine Fund with this pandemic going on. What are your leadership goals and goals for the Warhawk Quarantine Fund? Well,
and this is, I got to be perfectly candid. The foundation office started that project, and they allowed me to, you know, jump in with them and to be able to contribute to that. And that to me is the biggest goal is we're in a time where it's tough. It's a tough scenario, one, financially for people, but if there's a little bit of something you can give to help build that fund. And because as we all know somebody, we've all been around somebody. It may be a relative, it might even be us that has had an opportunity to be in quarantine, and that seclusion is a tough time. It is a tough time. It's not easy for anybody. And be able to have little awards or things that can put a smile on your face during the course of the day are vital. And that's the way I look at it, is that can we do some little things to try to put a smile on somebody's face.
Well, thank you for being here today, Coach, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
We'll see you then, Sam.
That was the quarantine edition of Inside Warhawk Football on UWW-TV.
Welcome back to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule. Guys, this has been one of the most crazy MLB seasons I've ever seen, starting with the Astros cheating scandal to only having a 60-game schedule. We are now in the championship series, and on the American League side, the #1 seed Tampa Bay Rays take on the 6th seed Houston Astros. On the National League side, the Dodgers are actually playing against the Braves. Who do you think has the best odds of winning the World Series?
I like the Atlanta Braves this season, and not only just this season, but going forward for the next 5-10 years because of this young core that they have built, with Freddie Freeman only being 31, Ronald Acuna is 23 years old, and Ozzie Albies is also 23. These guys are extremely young, and they're good. Ronald Acuna is already like a household MLB MVP every season. Like, he has stepped up into this league, and they have a lot of other pieces around them. I really like this team. The pitching has been stepping up, and even though they started off slow in this crazy season, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and they've been playing great baseball so far.
Yeah, I also, speaking of young rosters and young pitching, I'm also going to go with the Tampa Bay Rays. They have done a great job of bringing up young talent, going through the farm system, and now they're making a difference. Manuel Margot and Randy Arozarena. And those two guys have been key for the Tampa Bay Rays this season. And unlike the Atlanta Braves, the Tampa Bay Rays have had a strong season throughout the regular season. 60 straight wins after leading through 7 innings. They have been getting it done with small ball. They've been getting it done with the long ball. They can get it done either way, and their pitching is phenomenal.
Matt, I completely disagree with you, and this is why. I think that at the start of the season, nobody would have guessed the Rays to even be in the AL East. Everyone at the beginning of the season thought it was either going to be the Red Sox or the Yankees coming out. But the Rays, who would have guessed? The reason I think that they're not as good is because they're too young. They don't have a lot of superstars on that team, and that's what defines them from teams like the Dodgers.
I do actually have to kind of agree with the Rays, though. They kind of look like the next best team. That defense from Kevin Kiermaier in the middle, it's impossible to get anything in the gap against that guy. And like Matt was saying, like, it's small ball, it's big ball. Like, these guys know what to do. It's not, they're playing analytics. This is almost a money ball situation. These guys have just been able to mesh as a team and play so well. I still like the Braves going forward.
Yeah, but same to your point, I think the Rays have been getting it done with with young guys, and like Kyle said, like the Atlanta Braves are going to be good for 5 to 10 years. And as long as they come out on top with 1 run in the 9th inning or in extra innings, whatever it may be, as long as they get it done with 1 more run than their opponent, it doesn't matter how they win. Even if they do win ugly, they still win, and they're still advancing into the playoffs. And so they're taking it to the next level with these young talent, and having them get that experience is crucial.
But that's where you're wrong, Matt, is because when you look at teams who only win by 1 run, I don't think it helps their morale when it comes to the game, because I think that they have to be able to win by multiple runs. Otherwise, they're just kind of sneaking by as they play.
Yeah, but one also thing is the Rays are 14-5 in 1-run games this season, which means that they can get it done in close games. This young, talented group of guys are going to be able to get it done. They don't need a superstar. They don't need to be able to win the eye test, so they're going to get it done regardless.
And we'll be right back after the commercial break. We're going to take a look at the biggest SEC matchups that we have for this weekend. We'll be right back. Please excuse this commercial break.
Here at UW-Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on! That's it anyways. Oh, she got that off, and they're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
The UC can get you connected to all your basic needs. Grab a coffee and a meal. Study by the fireplace. Bowl, play, and relax when you want to break from homework. The UC has much more to offer to Whitewater students. Go to the UC's website to see what's going on this week.
Video One Media Services provides accomplished students the opportunity to enhance their college experience by working with real-world clients. In addition, we provide clients local and affordable video options to better enhance their media needs. For more information on how Video One Media Services can help you with your next media project, email or call our office at 262-472-5659.
Hello, I'm Dominic Ottens, and this is your UWW-TV Sports Update. The Green Bay Packers are coming off their bye week to take on Tom Brady and the 3-2 Buccaneers. Packers are 26-16 all-time coming off their bye week. Game time is scheduled for 3:25 on Sunday in Tampa Bay. After a 1-point win versus the Buccaneers last week, the Chicago Bears will continue their momentum against the Carolina Panthers. The game is scheduled for a noon kickoff on Sunday in Charlotte. The Minnesota Vikings look to bounce back after a 1-point loss to the Seattle Seahawks last week as they play the Atlanta Falcons. This game is a noon kickoff on Sunday in Minnesota. And we'll have more sports coming up for you right after this. After coming off their bye week, the Detroit Lions will look to get back into the win column versus the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Detroit sits at last place in the NFC North at 1-3. Game time is also a noon kickoff this Sunday. The Illinois Fighting Illini will look to make 2 straight wins against the Badgers on October 23rd at 7 p.m. at Camp Randall. Head coach Lovie Smith will look to beat the Badgers in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 2002. Gavin Lux, a Kenosha, Wisconsin native, did not make it onto the Los Angeles Dodgers National League Championship Series roster versus the Atlanta Braves. The series will continue throughout the week. For more updates, stay tuned to UWW-TV. Check us out at uwwtv.org or tune into our 24-hour stream service at reslife.uww.edu/stream. I'm Dominic Ottens, and this has been your sports update on UWW-TV.
Welcome back to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule. The Associated Press has released their new top 25, and 2 SEC powerhouses are in their top 5. With number 2 Alabama facing off against the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs Saturday night, who do you guys think needs this win more to have a shot at the college football playoffs?
I'm going to go with Georgia, because I think that they have less quality matchups going forward. Mississippi State, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and they have a great matchup against Florida next week. So I think that they need it more because Alabama's already had some quality wins. And Alabama is known previously to get in with 2 losses, like in 2017 when they went 10-2. And I think that Georgia really needs this matchup because it'll put a quality win on their resume and really boost their chances to get in.
We may have seen Alabama get in previously with a few losses, but that was back when they were dominating the other teams and losing these close games to the other contenders in the SEC. This year, they haven't been dominating nearly as much. The defense has looked extremely suspect. I really think Alabama needs this win more because I think Georgia has looked more impressive. That defense has actually strengthened up, and both of these teams coming off of the loss of a quarterback to the NFL draft, it looks to me like Georgia has actually made that change better. And this may actually be the first time that a Nick Saban assistant coach that has moved on may actually beat Nick Saban.
You know, I think Georgia needs this one more because if you look at basically what happens in college football in the NCAA, the top school with the most revenue that brings it into the NCAA is Alabama by their football program by far. I mean, the favoritism and consistency that the committee has for them makes it so overwhelmingly obvious that Alabama's going to make it no matter what, unless they have 3 losses.
Yeah, but I think that they could get in with 3 losses because of the craziness of the 2020 season with the Big Ten only having 9 games or the Pac-12 only having 7 games, even though there's no shot of the Pac-12 getting in. But I just think that the SEC is so dominant heavy that it's really a toss-up of who could get in and who doesn't because there's only 4 spots and there's like 5 quality SEC teams. And so I think that if Georgia really wants to separate themselves, they're going to have to stick it to Alabama this weekend.
Well, and Sam, you bring up revenue too. Let's think back to the playoff from last season. That was one of the most exciting playoffs we've ever seen with Clemson and LSU. And now, you know, we don't have LSU, but it comes down to the matchups and the players that are in these teams. And we've seen that that NCAA has kind of risen above just Alabama.
Next up, we will have our predictions for the biggest games of the week. We'll be back after the break.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
Turn us on. Flip them off.
91.7 WSUW. 91.7 is a student-run radio station serving the Whitewater area with a variety of original programs, live sports broadcasting, community events, and more. So turn us on 91.7 FM or stream us live at 917theedge.com.
UW Whitewater Athletics, a relentless pursuit of excellence across 22 sports, powered by a tradition of success. 20 national championships, 17 since 2002. 61 individual national titles. 24 National Athletes of the Year. 616 All-Americans. 115 Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year. 1,500 community service hours annually. Be a part of the tradition and join the Warhawk family.
Welcome to the University Bookstore. The University Bookstore provides students with the opportunity to purchase apparel, gift items, textbooks, snacks, supplies, and other necessities right here on campus. The bookstore is also home to textbook rental, where you can find many of your required textbooks. Our friendly staff always goes the extra mile to provide customers with a quick and pleasant experience. Visit the bookstore today to find great deals on everything you need to succeed as a Warhawk.
Welcome back to the show. Now we're going to give our predictions for the key matchups this week. Let's start with the matchup of a young star quarterback duo, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Guys, who do you think is going to win on Monday Night Football? The Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills?
I want to go with the Buffalo Bills. They seem to me like the more all-around team. We've seen Kansas City struggle against New England, against the Chargers, and most recently against the Raiders, where they actually took their first loss in almost a calendar year. But we've seen the weakness on the offensive side of the ball. Buffalo, to me, seems like a really strong team with Tre'Davious White on the defensive side of the ball and the plentiful weapons that Josh Allen has. I like the Buffalo Bills to win this one.
Although the Buffalo Bills defense does seem daunting against any other quarterback, they will not seem daunting against Patrick Mahomes. He said after last week's loss against the Raiders that he needed to execute better. Travis Kelce put it on himself that he lost that game. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce will have a big game against the Bills defense. Mahomes will have a Mahomes-type game. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going to agree with Matt. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, and it's because the AFC East is just a poor conference altogether, a poor division altogether. I think that the Bills just aren't ready. And guys, going on to the NLDS with the Dodgers and Braves, who do you have?
I like the Braves to win this one. The superstar bats for the Braves, I think, is going to overcome the superstar pitching. Even though Mookie has had a really good season for the Dodgers, him and Bellinger have not really showed up that much in the postseason. I like Acuna and Freeman to carry Atlanta to a win.
Although I think Acuna and Freeman do look really good, and they really look good in the World Series getting the Braves back there, but I think the Dodgers are real experienced. They've been there. They've done that. Adding Mookie Betts just adds a whole other dimension to this team, and along with that starting pitching, I got to go with the Dodgers.
Guys, I got to disagree. I think that the Braves are going to take their first NL pennant since 1995, and it's going to be in 6 games. Guys, who wins the Georgia-Alabama game?
I like Georgia to win this. I think They're not going to show everything, but their defense has looked stellar, a lot better than Bama, even though Bama played against a really easy defense last week, put up a lot of points. Now they got to go up against this Bulldogs defense.
I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide because they are at home. They've won the last 5 matchups against Georgia. I like Nick Saban at home. I think they take it. They have a little more than Georgia.
I think since Georgia only allows 12 points per game, that's going to be big for Georgia to take out the W. And guys, that'll do it for us here tonight. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time to hear more hot takes all around the world of sports. This has been Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule on UWW-TV.